Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World. 904-800-STAV. Call in. We'll solve all your problems. As you can see, we got a little travel episode here. We're in our beautiful Los Angeles studios at Bad Ladder. Shout out to the mysterious Mo. Eldest is actually here this time.
What's
Eldest,
up, everyone?
I made him leave. He was going to spend quality time with his wife. And I said no. Come to Los Angeles on a last-minute flight.
I gotta go to LA for
you gotta go
for like 72 hours.
You gotta come. We have to do podcasts, and it's last minute, and so you will have a middle seat in Delta, and it will probably be $700. So I can't put you in Comfort Plus, big guy. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
it's my job, babe.
My seat coming here was 55E, so I was back by the
good.
shitter.
That's high numbers, good, right? Yeah. Bigger.
It's bigger. Yeah, we thought it was like pant size. Like, oh, sorry, Eldest. We tried to get you in the biggest size we could.
Top size.
So, yes, don't freak out. Don't have an autistic meltdown because it's not the background you're used to. We love the studio here. We put a little some touches of home.
Home country.
Yeah, of the home country. And this gives us an opportunity to get some of our pals from Los Angeles on the show. Mix it up for you guys because we're going to go on tour. We want to get, little different flavors going. And today we have my buddy Amy Miller. How's it going? Thanks for coming.
Christos Anesti.
Christos Anesti. Yeah, this will be the Easter episode.
I don't know when it's coming up.
Yeah, it actually may be, dude. Who knows?
I was jealous that you dressed for Thanksgiving with Caleb, and I wanted to come as like a sexy Santa. But then I was like, what if it comes out in January?
It's not coming out. It is January, Amy. As you know. Happy 2025. We just were all having a great time at the famous Los Angeles ball drop ceremony. Do you guys have
We're going
anything?
to the inauguration tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm pumped.
Yeah. We're flying. That's why we only had 72 hours for Eldest to get here. We had to get to the inauguration ASAP.
I got
plans. No terroristic threats to our great next leader. It'll just be nice to see such a vital power exchange from Joe Biden to Donald Trump.
Strong handshake.
Strong handshake. I do hope Biden does something really fun at the inauguration, which is soon or has just happened.
I hope they have some sand for him to walk on. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Yeah, good for him, man. He's not gonna make it to the motherfucker. Who's the motherfucker that won't die?
Strom Thurmond?
Jimmy Carter.
Wait, no, he died.
No, he's dead. He's dead. His half black love child came out to light while he was being racist as hell. He just fully was having sex with a black lady.
I can't believe it.
That's so weird. That must be the only instance of that happening.
Of someone fucking someone they hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, should we get to your dating life? Is that a perfect segue?
My dating life is going great.
No, now it is,
I'm
right?
locked up. Yeah.
Yes, that's very cute. Have you been? What about before? Because this very sweet guy met your current
best.
beau.
Yeah, I've been in like a few long-term relationships.
Are you a long-term relationship gal?
I mean, I will for the right person. But in between, I really get it in.
Let it fly.
Yeah, I was realizing, I don't think I've ever told you this, but a special nugget for you during my mid-2000s holidays.
Mid-2000s, nice.
I did make love with a Baltimore Raven.
Wow! This is the first time I'm hearing this?
I was saving it.
You saved it on camera to see my actual delight and glee. We would have been. You don't understand how much closer we'd be right now
I'm
if the first
surprised I
time you
never
met
told
me.
you.
Oh, if you had dropped that like hangout 3 or 4, I'd be the best. I'd be officiating your wedding. You know what I mean?
We should be closer anyway.
We should. This helps a lot.
I don't even. Okay, I'm obviously not going to say his name. I'll tell you after. But I don't think he saw a lot of game time.
Sure.
It was confirmed that he was a Raven at the time. Okay. He was a very nice man.
Mid-2000s, okay.
And,
interesting.
And then he hopped around a lot of teams,
sure.
but I don't even know if you would know his name.
I can't. Either way, but while you had sex with him, he was on the roster.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
Huge. That's huge. Okay.
But he had an apartment in New York.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, wonderful man.
Great guy.
I survived a one-night stand with an NFL player.
Yeah. That's fun. Good for you.
What a smart way to be loose in New York.
Oh, that's good.
No, what could go wrong?
No.
Just an NFL player.
Just the sport where they have so much head trauma that one of the most famous running backs of the 70s murdered his wife. And by the way, you know the NFL vaporized O.J. Simpson's skull the second he died. You know they had a guy throw a fucking grenade in that medical examiner's office. The fucking CTE he had in those like 70s aluminum helmets just banging his head back and forth.
They just took it out and put table salt on it and it dissolved like a slug.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was so toast.
Oh, man, yeah.
This guy seemed very aware of like the possibility that a woman might be afraid.
Sure, that's good.
Like he was just so like, is this okay?
Right.
You know,
that's good.
Consent. It's new to the NFL.
Yeah,
I guess.
They had just gone over that in the mid-2000s with the NFL players. They're like, all right, from now on, boys, start asking.
Just in case.
Just in case. All right, we used to only tell this to the starters, but now we'll even tell the bench players that you need to get consent.
It was whatever year in the mid-2000s he would have had like a lot of rhinestones on his back pockets.
Okay.
You know those like horseshoe pants that are sparkly? Lucky 7? Or, no. What?
Oh, I feel...
Lucky.
Yeah.
It's just Lucky, right?
No, that's one of them.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But
something Buddha is the true religion.
Oh, yeah.
The true religion.
A lot of rhinestones.
And I do believe there's a brand that has Lucky somewhere in there. But yeah. Tap out era shirts too. Rhinestones on the shirts. I think
he had almost like an Affliction shirt.
Yes, Affliction tap out. Beautiful.
With like a big cross.
And that was, for you, that was awesome.
Loved it. Yeah. I mean, so sparkly.
It drew you in and then you saw the muscles.
We watched Soul Plane.
Awesome. Little hint there. She won't say his name, but some breadcrumbs.
Very astute. Now I just sound racist, but
I have watched Soul Plane with a girl I fucked. That is actually true.
It's so funny.
It is it's funny. It's a funny it's
I
also
felt safe.
It's also a funny document to show people like who weren't. It's like, yeah, Kevin Hart, this is before he was famous. It's like a fun thing for people who don't know about it.
Totally.
And it's a fun movie.
Yes.
It's really a good time.
But he also made like a rum punch.
Oh, his own rum punch. That's awesome.
It was nice. He was such really a gentleman. Hosting. Yeah, this is like pre-Uber New York, so he like called me a town car. Like, wow, that's a classy move.
Yeah,
I don't
moments after he
get
busted.
On the train.
He was actually on the phone while having sex. No, I'm kidding.
I slept
he seems
for
nice.
a little bit.
Well, he was like, all right, we won't refill the health bar, but we'll get you halfway before we leave you. Slept for a little bit. It's maybe the funniest option.
She needs some rest.
She needs some rest after taking this kind of affliction pounding. After taking this rhinestone jean pile driving. That's nice.
I'm not even really I don't like hook up with strangers. I don't judge, obviously, but it's not like my thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, come on.
Mid-2000s New York.
NFL player.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's
NFL
the worst choice you could make.
I don't know. It's for the in terms of the bucket list, like look back fondly on some dickings. That's a fun one to have.
It was really fun. Yeah. He was really nice.
Yeah, exactly. Nice guy, athlete. I don't know if there's I guess what's the equivalent for, I mean, guys, it's just literally any hot woman. I don't really care what her profession is. But I would love to hook up with a professional athlete, but I don't think it's the same
What sport?
I'm open,
WNBA?
Sister. Yeah, honestly, I would love that. I would love that. I have no problem talking to a taller woman. I think it's fun. I think it's actually
what I love about you. You're not basic in your choices.
No. I think it's a mark of strength. And in fact, one of the pictures I admire most, or a couple, or an image I admire most, is a short man with a hot woman who's just towering over him, and he doesn't give. There's Joe Pesci with like his wife in the 90s, and he's like truly up to her tits, and he's the man. It's cool.
How comfortable would that be, though?
And that's the other thing. I don't get to really feel
held.
I don't really get to feel held. Even when I've had girlfriends do the token, make me the little spoon there. I mean, their arms are not getting all the way around. These girls are not. If I get a girl with a real wingspan.
Olympic shot putter.
Yeah. Well, they're a little stocky.
Javelin thrower.
I need length. You know what I mean? I need somebody to be able to get the whole stomach from behind. I've never had that.
Maybe
I've never had that feeling.
volleyball.
I'm so open to all of these. You have no idea how much I would love to be
I feel like you
a
could clean
WNBA
up.
husband. That would be so sick.
That would be so awesome.
I'm fucking courtside.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Come on. Fuck this bitch.
Geared up.
I love
just
hoops.
talking shit.
I love hoops. I love talking shit. It would be the dream come true. So, and it's like all of them are taller than me. There's not a single. Well, I mean, maybe there's like a guard in the WNBA that's my height, but it's like even guards are like 5'10".
Yeah, I love this idea.
So I'm open to it. And then, a jack.
I like that you like the spice of life. You know
I'm
what I mean?
all over it. Give me any.
I appreciated when you told me at an airport that you would buy stock in my pussy.
I did, because you're a great.
That meant so much to me.
Because you got a good. You're great. You're a great hang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just felt like because you met that. Because I remember you just met a random. Your current. If we can divulge.
Oh, I tell a joke about it. Yeah.
Your boyfriend was just a guy in a different city.
In Nebraska.
That you on Tinder found. And this guy has pretty much uprooted his life.
Yeah.
To be with you. And if that's not worth buying stock in. This man left the cornfields. He left the quiet of the Midwest to put up with a big city. If that's not a pussy worth buying, getting some dividends in, I don't know what is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, some long-term, reasonable options.
Yeah. Now look, you're not going to get rich overnight. It's not that kind of stock.
No.
But you want it in your portfolio. It's going to pay over time. It's coming.
He's also the best. Like, I don't deserve him at all. But,
that's awesome.
I appreciate that about you. And we were at Bob Hope's Burbank Airport in the middle of the day.
I was moments away.
And you've never been close to my pussy.
No. Let's put that. This is
for my boyfriend to know.
This is She's like, this is the one thing that could ruin it. We overcame long distance. We overcame me being a comedian. That's weird. But if he catches wind that I even suspect Stav fucked me, it's all over. He's headed back.
After that Raven? You don't want to go Ravens fan after a Raven.
Oh man, yep. Fuck, what was I just gonna say? I missed it. But there are definitely some. I hope I haven't ruined any relationships. I hope women out there know if we fucked and your boyfriend mentions me, don't bring it up. Nothing good is gonna come of it. He's not gonna be stoked. I'll tell you that much. It's not gonna be like nice.
I don't know.
Maybe some. Actually, I have gotten. We won't even say it, but didn't you get a weird DM from some guy that was like, "Yo,
you fucked
Stav,
my
we're
wife?
Eskimo brothers." I guess he DM'd me and I didn't see it, so he needed to tell someone.
I think it was actually a voicemail.
Oh, someone called into the show.
Which just made me feel like extra weird.
Oh, that's too close.
Because we're not supposed to say Eskimo anymore.
Is
that right. What upset you about it?
I was so sad. I was like, please, we're Inuit brothers.
Was it like with his wife?
I have no information.
Oh man, I gotta hear this message.
I doubt it was.
I remember hearing it and I was like, Stav, you want to hear it? He was like, no.
I don't need to know this information, man. I don't need to hear. I don't want to know the quality of his voice. I don't want to know what emotion. I want to keep that a mystery, man. I don't need to know more about that. Folks, here at Stavvy's we love to keep it twisted. And when it comes to beverages that are our choice, we're getting twisted on. Delicious twisted teas. That's right. My self-imposed year of sobriety is over, and I'm not ashamed to admit I've been enjoying a couple twisted teas here. You see we're on the tour bus. Nothing like kicking back at the end of a hard show and let's say, Spokane, Washington with a nice I'm a raspberry guy, maybe even a peach guy when it comes to twisted tea. Do you like to get twisted? Do you like delicious beverages made with real brewed iced tea, 5% per volume, go down smooth as hell. Well, then you know what I'm going to need you to do? Keep it twisted. That's right.
Keep it twisted.
Keep it twisted, just like me, Eldis, JP, McDade, and the rest of the crew here. The rest of the crew here on the tour bus. So grab a refreshing twisted tea today and
keep it twisted.
Interesting. You don't deserve him. Now, what do you think that's about, Amy? Why do you think you don't deserve a great guy? Because I think you're a great person.
Oh, thank you. I think
does
so
deserve
too.
a nice guy.
But it's, but he stepped into a tricky life. Well, what's great is he doesn't care about stand-up comedy.
That's huge.
That blew my mind. Yeah, because nobody knows who I am. I'm sure they'll tell me in the comments. When they say, who the fuck did Stavvy have on? I'm Amy Miller. I'm a very good comedian.
Amy's very funny.
There's no reason for him to know who I was, but he just didn't follow stand up. He literally fell in love with my personality. So I'm like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome that you were like, wow, of course it's gonna be my talent that brings this guy in.
He must be a fan. He's
of an art form that most people don't give a fuck about.
That's true.
Even my career, it's like, if I didn't have podcasts, if it wasn't maybe I would be fucking, headlining here and there, but it's you really have to get famous for other things.
Yes.
And then just
tell me about it.
And then you just have to fucking and then stand-up is stand-up is sort of like the rich child. And podcasting is it's rich parents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your stand-up career is essentially, you have to become your own Nepo baby.
Yes.
You have to put your stand-up forward and something else has to fucking pay the bills.
Yeah, I gotta make this money so my stand-up can get ahead.
Yes, so I can go do fucking
I'm
shows.
so proud of it.
Well, but you guys didn't even meet. I could also see you thinking that if he saw you in person, because that's, at least for guys, that's also the only way I would get laid very early on, is if someone saw a show and was excited. But it's just from the internet, it's funny for you to be he's gonna be blown away when he fucking sees me.
Does not care.
He doesn't care at all. I mean, that's what you need. That's much better.
Well, I don't think I'm not devoid of charm or whatever, but I don't know. I was shocked when I saw him in person off Tinder, how hot he was. And then I was like, surely he's just going to say, never mind, or whatever.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's I have high self-esteem, but it's dudes are also just like that
Sure,
sometimes.
They'll get out of there quick.
They're if I don't want to tell my buddies about this,
Sure.
it's not happening. You just fuck for each other,
Of course. It's if only I could be attracted to fucking a man, but I'm not. So I'm going to fuck women and use that as currency.
That my dad wants to fuck
as
well.
So he thinks I'm cool. So him and his friends that I hate think I'm cool.
Then he didn't just want to bang. He uprooted his whole life.
That's beautiful.
His dog,
I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Your dog. Now your dog as well.
Of course. Yeah. I feel like I met my dog. You know what I mean? I was just waiting for her my whole life.
Yes. Stepmom to a dog.
Yeah, she gets a lot of treats.
That's awesome. I love that. What was the are we talking bad dad? What's the
what happened to me?
Yeah, what's the idea here about not believing again that you can have a good family, or not expecting it, or thinking what's the fam looking like? Because you didn't grow up in Portland, right? You just moved there?
I grew up in the Bay Area.
You grew up in the Bay,
yeah.
Okay. Because when we met, you were living in Portland, I want to say?
Yes, I lived in Portland for 3 years. I did comedy up there, but I started in the Bay. I'm from Oakland.
Okay, nice.
Ish. And my dad died when I was young.
Ooh,
there we go. Ding, ding, ding.
Dad. Okay.
You don't know this story? Okay, well,
I really don't.
Dad died when I was 9, and then when I was 30, I found out he wasn't my real dad.
Oh,
but then
my
the other guy was dead as well.
Oh, double dead dad?
Yeah.
You didn't even get the fucking...
No. He died when I was 20. Yeah, my mom was
So you
gonna...
did have 11 years there where maybe you could have done something.
Oh, yeah. She was going to take that secret to her grave, but she got found out.
Fucking Ancestry.com.
Yeah, and then I started stand-up 3 months later after all this happened.
Holy shit.
And then I have an older brother who's you know, he's an older brother.
Sure.
So I love him very much, but he's like, I guess, my father figure.
Interesting.
Which nobody asks for or wants.
No.
You're an older brother.
I am.
Yeah, and it sucks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're just like, what? I have to take care of these idiots.
I do sort of have to be the father of my family in a fucked up way.
Yeah.
My father's alive, by the way.
Yeah.
He's just not good at being the head of a
yeah,
household.
when they live, they don't get much better.
No.
That's the thing.
Can I be honest? I think you kind of got a nice dead dad. Not that bad.
Yeah.
Kind of nice because you can.
Dead mom sucks.
Dead mom brutal. Dead mom brutal for sure.
You need a mom, yeah.
Dead dad's great because it's like, it's the perfect idea of this guy. But everyone who loves their dead dad that died when they were a child, it's like, he's like James Dean. James Dean would have grown up, he would have gotten bald, he would have gotten fat, he would have made a bunch of bad movies.
Yeah.
But he's burned in your mind's eyes like this perfect, like he's like America's heartthrob teen, whatever. You just remember him coming home with a Nintendo. You don't remember him fucking getting caught cheating when he found out. When Facebook came out, he fucking he messages his high school girlfriend. That never happens to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he would have probably gotten some cheating revenge on my mom eventually because he knew I wasn't his kid, obviously. So he was like raising not his kid.
Oh my God! So it's even juice. I thought it was like,
which is cool. Like you don't meet a lot of like women, like mothers of 3 that like
I love that.
cheat
Too. Yeah,
a
just
lot,
has one. Yeah,
and then have a whole child.
mixes the kid in.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah. He was not like the greatest man,
Sure.
but I have more empathy for him now that we have all this information.
A lot of info coming out.
About his whoring wife. Love you, Mom.
Well, it is funny when you get old enough and you're like, my parents truly were just people.
I know.
And that, it sucks, but it's also freeing to be like, of course, they're just fucking idiots.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
if that dad was still alive, he'd be for sure a psycho at this point. I don't think I would want to talk to him. So it's kind of nice. Plus, when your dad dies and you're 9, like you get like so much attention.
The presents must have been out of control.
The food.
Yeah.
You know, church ladies are bringing over casseroles.
Yes.
And you just feel like you deserve it.
Yeah, when
You
does
know,
the...
a buffet at home for fat kids.
Oh,
It's like,
must have been honestly a dream.
yeah, wish another parent would die.
Yeah, again, I don't want to wish. Yeah, I don't want to wish my father dead.
No,
okay?
no, of
I'm
course
not saying that.
Of course not.
However, in an alternate universe where Greek ladies were coming through with food every day, pinching my cheeks, feeling sorry for me.
Yeah.
If it happens when you're maybe even a little older, maybe let's say 12. If the halo lasts like 3 years, you get to 15, maybe you even get some sympathy pussy out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could have seen how that would have positively impacted my life. Again, glad my dad's alive. We hung out for the first time during the holidays in a while. We're good now. But them casseroles sound pretty good, Amy.
And they were.
Yeah,
White Baptist women. Wow, the food.
Interesting. White Baptist in Oakland. That's an interesting type of person to be.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
No, it's weird for sure. It got me out of class. Like, that was fun. And then it just put this kind of, like, dark... like, if you're a little kid, like, nobody wants to hang out with the kid who already has a dead parent because that's, like, so weird. That's like you're from a Disney movie.
Right,
You know what I mean? I just,
right.
had a creepy air about me at that
interesting.
point.
You were like, you were cursed. You were haunted.
Yeah.
But I would imagine you were like a bubbly kid, or were you not?
No, I was pretty quiet and
Okay.
fearful and anxious.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had a lot of cool tics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, other kids love that.
So you were glitching out. You had a dead
all the
dad.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I also just was like the kid that accidentally told other children like Santa wasn't real.
Oh, no.
So I was just like, your parents can die too, and there's no Santa.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like, my dad died, and then Santa stopped coming around. You put 2 and 2 together, and then
It
you
was
let
just
everybody
scary
know.
for other children.
Yeah, that is true. We don't talk about how much just being a bummer, because kids are just so basic. They're just like, if you like look nice, if you have a treat, if you're fun, they're around, and then it's like, I don't like this. I'm going away. They'll just do that to you.
Yeah.
And it would be the littlest shit. I'm trying to say, I mean, we had a kid who did have a parent die, and I remember thinking, towards the end of the year, it's like, all right, he's milking it a little bit.
That was me.
Like I remember being like, because I remember we had like I was kind of friends with him, and then all the dickhead kids who were kind of bullies to him, they were like over the top nice and the same shit what you're describing, presents, whatever. Let's all make this guy feel good. And I remember being like, this guy fucking abandoned me and the other guys to be with the fucking not even popular because it was like 4th grade. So it wasn't like it was that cliquey. It was just like he switched over.
Yeah.
He switched up on us, and he was like,
I'm cool
He literally tried to turn cool.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, all right, I mean, I feel bad, but
He's smoking cigarettes.
it's kind of over. Do you remember this, Eldis? Or were you gone by that time?
I think I was gone, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's probably like, life is too short, man. I can't hang out with this fat fuck anymore.
I'm hanging out with a fat kid. I'm hanging out with those sexy kids that are good at soccer. I'm like, okay, whatever, man.
Well,
Fuck you.
My family was already kind of like had this mythological status in the neighborhood because we were like the big white trash house on the corner.
Yeah, hell yeah.
With like a visible, like my dad tried to build a houseboat himself,
Awesome.
like shit
Yes.
like that.
Just a half-finished house that was
Yeah.
not
that my brother's
seaworthy.
living in. Oh no, it could not get out on the water. And then there's like a broken down fishing boat like right next to
Love it.
And just constantly like fights and screaming and parties and all this stuff. So
Gotcha.
it was already like, oh, those are like the Miller girls.
I see. Oh, wow.
And then all of a sudden we
You're
have a
coming to
dead
school
parent and it's like
shoeless with overalls on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little thing of hay in your teeth.
definitely always smelled like cigarettes. Like I can't imagine because my mom would smoke in the car with the windows up.
Oh my god.
And so then I'm like, just would go through periods of having full lice and pretending like I didn't.
Oh my god.
You smell like smoke.
I see. Oh yeah,
I'm wearing
that's
like
brutal.
my older brother's clothes, and then and then I do, and kids are just like, "That's a bug on you." I'm like, "No, it's not.
No, it's
Definitely
nothing.
not coming from my head." The fuck?
Wow, so
And
you
I'm
must
like,
have been.
"There's no Santa, bitch.
Yeah.
Get off me."
So you were patient zero for many lice outbreaks probably at school. Because remember, that was another thing they made us do constantly at our school. Was like, I feel like once
Comb through your hair.
every 6 months, there'd be like the nurse would comb through and find some lice.
Yeah, well, it was the worst because it's like if you had any, you would leave class and get like combed out or whatever, and then you had to collect your things and leave. So all the other
everyone
kids
knew.
know.
Yeah.
And then I remember
The first walk of shame of your life.
Yeah, in 3rd grade, being like, I don't have it. They just said I have to go home anyway. They're like, you're giving me a short day.
Yeah.
Just because my head was so free of lice.
They were like, well,
And-
this is the cleanest head we've ever seen. You deserve an ice cream party. You guys can't come. It's just going to be me. That's fucking awesome.
I mean, this is making my head itch. I don't have it
Yeah,
right
the
now.
psychosomatic thing
Yeah,
of...
it's the worst.
My parents just straight shaved our heads when we got lice. They were like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Which you can kind of do with boys, I guess.
Yeah, that would have been pretty brutal at school.
You couldn't throw shaved head onto what you were already dealing with.
I mean, I would imagine there were probably some kids at school that just thought we straight up killed our own dad.
Yeah, a
Just
fist
3
fight.
little chubby girls,
Yeah.
we got him.
So you had an older brother and then 2 other sisters? Is that
And my
that's the
brother's
spread?
like, he was doing his best to raise us.
So how
as
much
a
older are we
teenage
talking?
drug addict.
Hell yeah.
Well, he was like in punk bands and stuff, so
Nice.
like he was doing that whole thing. He's 10 years older than me.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I mean, he's still in punk. He's still in his punk band.
Okay.
But that was like, so I was a Christian kid, but
So he
then
would go dumpster diving and bring you day-old Panera croissants that they threw away.
yes. Wait,
Awesome.
how do you know this?
Wait, for real?
Oh, you've met punks.
Yeah, I just know punks. And
Big bag of bagels.
And my brothers used to work at Panera Bread, so I know who would beg them for the trash bread.
I had punk friends who had, one of them worked at Panera, and they always brought shit to their house in college.
Yeah, dude, that was a classic punk kid thing to do. You just have like 3-day-old crusty ass croissants. Like, hey, not so bad. That's where punks and fat people cross. That's the Venn diagram in the middle. Is eating old ass pastries that other people would have put in the trash.
Yeah, you don't even have to work at Panera to go through their trash.
You really don't. They did start cracking down towards the end, but
they're locking the dumpsters behind.
so fucked.
the
That's
bagel
legitimately
shops.
so fucked up.
I know.
It's like you were just letting it rot. That's fucking crazy.
But it's like my early memories of him are like watching Pee-wee's Playhouse when I had just gotten up because I was a child and he was just getting home, like
Hell
from
yeah.
Gilman and shit.
Yeah.
Very special memories.
That's cute.
But yeah, but like he had to tell me my dad died. That's also fucked up when you picture like a 19-year-old boy.
Totally.
Like that's just too much.
Yeah, just your little
He
sister.
was probably drunk still.
Yeah, for sure. Mom couldn't handle that, I guess.
She was somewhere that we didn't know.
Oh wow! What the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's really Lord of the Flies in your household.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah,
so
yeah.
did you have other? I know you were ostracized for being white trash, but were there other trash kids that came over since it was like a no man's land in your house?
Oh,
was it
yeah.
that house?
My siblings had a bunch of friends and they would always have people over. Yeah, it became like the like place to hang out,
Yeah.
watch porn as children, whatever. Just like no rules. That's how I found out what sex was. And I was like a little Christian kid.
Yeah,
It's from my
yeah.
brother's porn.
Hell yeah.
And
What kind of collection? Does he have
Stavvy.
videotapes,
Well,
DVDs?
this is the thing. Like, all he had was black porn.
Interesting.
And
It's
I-
Oakland.
That, yeah.
know what I mean?
we're in
The market
East
dictates.
Bay.
Yeah.
That's what the market dictates. And I found it in his closet. I didn't know what intercourse was. I knew, like, you know, some people have penis, some people have vagina.
Sure,
I didn't
sure.
know they interacted in that way.
Right.
And it was all black porn, so I thought that only black people had sex for like several years.
That's fucking awesome.
So many of my friends at school were black that I was just like, I know what you do.
I know what you guys are
and
up to.
it's cool.
I gotta say, pretty jealous.
Want to study together?
I love believing that, but knowing Santa's not real.
It was a confusing time.
I have
didn't
a couple hard
father.
truths for my other white. You white kids are not gonna want to hear this. Santa's not real, and we never get the fuck.
And your
fucking
parents
awesome.
can die.
Damn, that's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, there was just like no rules and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have that many friends for a long time. I was like a cousin hangout. You know what I mean? It's like go
Sure.
to your cousins.
Right.
Because you don't have any friends at school.
You were the hanger-on that nobody was
Yeah.
like. It was like, yeah, it's my cousin's
My
here.
cousin
whatever.
was like cool, you know, like she was like had boyfriends already and she was like wearing like jerseys.
Sure, I remember.
I don't know why
I remember that.
that's-
No, that was cool. That was cool when we were growing up.
Yeah, like the early
Jersey
90s
era.
girl with like different colored like rubber bands on her braces.
Yes.
And then like a jersey to match
Yes.
with like leggings. Like she had the first DVD player I ever saw,
wow.
first CD player, like she got everything.
What were you playing? Do you remember the first movie you watched on that DVD player?
No, I don't. That's a good question.
I don't either. I don't. But it just would have been fun. I don't remember
It's
the first
probably
DVD
like a
I
Christmas
watched.
movie or
Yeah.
something, but
I remember a lot of VHSs, but I don't remember when DVDs took over. I remember the Godfather one because it was so big. I remember
Oh,
Titanic,
yeah.
same thing, the double
like
tapes.
that gold one. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we had a lot of double tape VHSs on like musicals and stuff. Like Sound of Music, I'm obsessed with, but I didn't. We would watch the first tape. That's fun. So I didn't know about the Nazis for like
Sure.
so long.
Like, whoa, this is such a fun musical. Everyone's just in the Alps having the good time.
Yeah, this kid Rolf seems all right. He's handsome, well dressed.
Folks, you know me and the boys, we're out here on tour. We gotta stay nice and clean, nice and groomed. Spring cleaning for you too. Update those grooming habits. Yeah, you want to throw away the freaking fedora you bought that you thought was gonna look good. Toss that in the trash, but also update your grooming habits. Okay, I got a little scruff now, but by the time showtime rolls around, because tonight we do have a show, I am gonna be smooth as a baby's bottom, thanks to our friends at Manscaped. And not just my face, my nuts as well. That's right, you're gonna wanna check out the Manscaped's Beard and Balls Bundle. I got you covered from cheek to nutsack. Okay, that's all me. They should, I should write copy for them. Join over 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and use code Stavvy for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. They got it all in one grooming, skin safe technology. You're not gonna nick your little chubby nuts, okay? And we love it because they're very travel friendly. They got the built-in travel lock. Your grooming tools stay secure. We need that. We're shifting all over the place on this bus. So trim your nuts just like me. Don't cut corners on your grooming routine. Upgrade to the Beard and Balls Bundle from Manscaped. Visit manscaped.com and use code Stavvy, Stavvy, to get 20% off plus free shipping. Or if you need it today, you can find Manscaped at a store near you. Stay fresh this season. For everyone's sake, level up your grooming game today. So how long this is so interesting, the being like who, because I never in my mind could put together religious with the Lord of the Flies upbringing you're discussing. Yeah. You're usually so supervised when you're religious. How long did it last, and how did you get into it? Did you have grandparents and parents that made you go when you were really little?
No, my grandparents didn't go at all. Totally non-religious family. Although now my mom's getting into it because
of course,
live the fear of mortality.
She sees her death coming along. She knows the laundry list of sins.
Yes, and her Christian president, Donald J. Trump.
Oh yes, your mom was just out and about, probably sucking and fucking when your dad died. It's you know what? It's time for morals. Now that I've had my fun, no one else gets to have it.
We couldn't find her till maybe 10 in the morning or something. No idea. I was at a slumber party. It was a whole thing. I didn't want to go to parties for a long time after that because the one that I got invited to, my fucking dad died while I was there.
You're just dirty as you're Linus, basically, begging for an invite to a party.
Yes.
And the first time you get one, your fucking dad dies.
Yeah.
That's brutal. You're
he dropped me off.
No. Yeah. Oh, dude.
But then my aunt picked me up, so I was like, "Where's Dad?"
What's going on?
And they were like, "We'll let this 18-year-old boy tell you what's going on."
Yeah. Nah, listen, we did rock, paper, scissors. I got to pick you up. I didn't get tell you, okay? As soon as your brother gets out of his heroin nap or whatever, I'm just guessing, he'll tell you your dad died.
Black tar heroin.
Nice, okay, yep.
Well, that is the perfect environment for, in the mid 80s, it was very common to just have a church van and send it around and be we'll take your kids who clearly need structure and Jesus. And then, my dad's well, football's on Sunday morning, so this is perfect timing for me.
So it was just,
We literally got in a van with a strange man. And then no, we shockingly did not.
Yeah.
Our youth pastor did end up being a huge.
The lice might have saved you. The same reason you didn't have friends.
That's so beautiful. Oh, they were protective critters.
Yeah, you thought they were enemies. They were your little guardian angels.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start weeping.
You start trying to get that lice shampoo banned. You're there might be little dirty kids that need this.
Yeah,
wow, so the guy wasn't.
Yeah, and my sister and I spent a lot of time alone with this man, but nothing happened to us. Mm-hmm. Again, you're probably right. The smell alone.
I think being dirty and having lice literally stopped you from getting.
But a bunch, because at one day he just disappeared. Of course, he was just Pastor Jeff doesn't work here anymore. Yeah. And then it was years later we found out he had sadly touched all these people.
Damn.
It's so fucked. But nothing happened to us.
But at the time it was a pleasant place for you.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't chaotic.
Yeah, well,
there was probably a ham sandwich, or maybe some kind of sandwich.
Good snacks, Nella wafers and Kool-Aid,
Oh yeah.
And just adults that took an interest in us. So me and my one sister kept with it for a long time. I almost went to Bible college, but then I went to Berkeley.
Oh wow.
Those were my two.
Those were your two options.
I was I will go to Bible college in Oklahoma.
Of the dangerous, thundering, evil place and the good place.
Yeah, and she went to Bible college.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
so you get to see what your life would have been like.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, she's pretty out of it now. She's still like religious-ish, but
Sure.
not like in that crazy way.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
we got a gay sister and all the stuff.
Of
like,
course.
Once you get to the homophobia, it's so corny. You're just like, grow up,
It's
guys.
hard, yeah.
Shut
I know.
up.
They lose a lot of motherfuckers with that, but I mean, they gain a lot more, I suppose. I guess numbers-wise, if they're playing
Yeah.
just numbers, they're
It's
probably
just like
it's the right.
embarrassing.
It is so sad. It's like you care this much how other people bust.
Yeah.
That matters to you that much.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear the groomer shit. It's way more straight religious people. There's way more straight religious than gay ones.
Oh, yeah, and
well, that's not
Well, this is the
necessarily
thing,
true. But they're all religious is my point. Not
Every
not
single
other
one.
guys. yeah. It's
Greek
way more
Orthodox
religion.
mostly.
I've talked about this at length. We let our priests get married. That's how you make
That's
sure they
clutch.
don't. Because because the only way the ones who aren't allowed to get married are the ones who like rise through the ranks.
Yeah.
The ones that are like, married to the church, I guess. And they're such like, they're trying to become the like pope. We don't have a pope, we call it the archbishop. They're like career minded.
Yes.
So they don't have time for molesting.
Right.
And the ones at their home parish, they're fucking their wives.
It's time consuming.
Yeah, I
Is
feel
what
like
you're saying.
Yeah, just wait. That's what
Kids are quick.
Yeah, that's the thing about these Catholics. They don't fucking really love the church. You should be praying. You should be trying to get
Yeah, they love
rise up
molesting.
through the ranks. But yeah.
Well, this is how fucked up and conservative that church was, is that when all this shit came out about the youth pastor, we had another friend from church we grew up with who had since come out of the closet and changed his name and all this stuff. And they were like, oh yeah, it's really sad about Pastor Jeff. The devil got to him, because Satan makes you more.
Of course.
If you're weak,
If you're weak, yeah.
we all have moments of weakness.
Of course. Thank
where
God.
we consider.
Thank God the devil hasn't
Yeah.
chosen me.
Yeah, and they had
Yeah.
so much empathy for him, the molester, and then I won't say the other guy's name, but let's say it's John. Like they were like, at least he didn't end up like John.
At least?
Yeah.
Just a gay person?
Yeah, just a gay
Oh my
guy.
God,
A regular
dude.
gay guy.
I mean, that's why we're
But
so
also
fucked.
Jeff was boys as well. And I was like, what's gay in that?
Wow, he was doubling up?
But that doesn't count.
That doesn't count because
It was so
that's the
fucked.
devil. But
Yeah.
but having, going and getting like oolong tea in the morning with your fucking husband.
Your
and then-
rescue
Yeah,
chihuahua.
your rescue chihuahua. That's Satan. Fucking children while you're a fucking pastor. Hey, look, we all make mistakes.
Transforming neighborhoods with your flower shops.
Yeah, that's bad. That's fucking bad. Buying jade earrings.
Yeah, they were
That's-
sick. And these people, they were doing it in the middle of the East Bay. So it's like you really have to commit to
Yeah.
being like a fundamentalist Christian there.
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
surrounded
Yeah.
by queers.
Totally. It's very gay over there. That's why it was shocking to me to hear about that. But hey, I guess you have to be that fucking, you have
I
to
was,
be really
for sure looking for something, some structure, something at all.
So what
you know?
happens through Berkeley? Like because you
That's
said
where
you
it started to fade.
Yeah.
I tried it for a while. I was there's this park called People's Park that's since been demolished because a lot of unhoused people live there and they don't want that.
No.
But this has been happening like since the 60s. Like people have just lived in this park. It's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, like people are doing drugs sometimes, but it's not like a violent place. It's just like, I don't know, but it's in the middle of Berkeley right by
Sure,
campus.
sure.
But I used to go there with hot chocolate and try to save people.
Wow.
Like my first 2
Spread
years.
the word.
Yeah.
You were still trying that type
Yeah.
of stuff. Interesting.
But then, it had been, I wanted to have sex with my boyfriend.
oh, you weren't.
We were doing other stuff.
Sure.
Christian
Which
sex.
God is like, that's all good.
Yeah.
Get your
He's real
face
concerned
fucked.
with the whole
But once the pussy gets in the
suffocate
mix.
him between your thighs after school while you're watching Dawson's Creek DVDs. That's fine.
That's awesome. That is ultimately what probably gets so many people as having sex. Then being like, wait, this was a big deal?
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
it's like,
because I
who really
wasn't. It was
cares?
like he had been my boyfriend since high school. Like I was like, this doesn't feel like sinful.
Yeah,
I've made this teenage boy
wow.
wait like 3 years,
Crazy, yeah.
And he was very supportive and nice about it, but I was just like, this seems fucking dumb. And then, the homophobia, corny, so many things. I got an education.
Sure.
That tends to help.
Yeah.
With religion.
Started showering. You started being able to afford food without the church giving it to you. And you're like, hey, I have a full stomach and I've read a few books.
Started working at the video store, Vidiots, just studying cinema.
Of course.
Watch a few French films and God seems silly.
Of course. That's so fucking funny. And then what do you, because it sounds like if I'm putting the chronology together, you don't start stand-up till you're 30 or like.
Yeah,
so
almost 31.
What's the 20s look like? What are you doing in that zone?
Working in first nonprofit and then working in music and working in tech.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, the mid 2000s kind of tech San Francisco fucking.
That's true.
Embarrassing situation. Just throwing parties.
Although Groupon was Chicago, I think, right? But the mid 2000s. I remember when everyone
people were trying to be Yelp elite.
Everybody's trying to get on Yelp.
On the Yelp parties.
Everyone's trying to be the mayor of some shitty bar on Foursquare. I do remember that. Tinder was brand new.
I was one of the first.
Don't know nothing about
this is true. I was one of the first Yelp users because my very good high school friend was like the first and lead engineer at Yelp. Mm-hmm. Doing very well for himself.
Good for him.
Yeah. He's the best. But I remember he was just like, I was waiting tables at the time. So he was like, can you write some reviews on this website that's for people to review restaurants and shit? And I'm like, this seems like the worst fucking idea I've ever heard.
She'd be like,
people are going to be mean.
Yeah.
And so all my early reviews are so embarrassing. They're just like beauty bar or whatever. It's great to dance there. Dance the night away at beauty bar. 5 stars.
That's so fucking funny.
So I deleted my account. Someone very high up at Yelp was like, hey, you can't, if you delete your account, all of these first reviews go away for all these pretty major bits. And I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, who cares?
This is horrible.
Yeah, well, can I have 1% of the company? You're like, okay, I won't delete them. Give me $500,000.
Yeah, on a platform that is just for people to insult me while I'm waiting tables. I used to love getting bad reviews that I knew were about me, though. I would tell people my name. Amy.
You should have given them a fake name when you were being a bitch. To just track it. When you thought you were being nice versus when you were being a bitch. That would have been fun to see, how do people perceive me?
Well, yeah, the bitchiness was relative. Sure. The worst Yelp review I ever got is because there was 6 college kids that had a $25 bill and they wanted to split it on 6 cards. Oh. And I go, you know what? I'll take care of it.
Wow.
I go, no charge, leave whatever. I'm not doing this. I'm not running 6 cards through this POS.
Yeah. That's
and they gave me a 1-star Yelp review and said Amy was very rude. And I'm like, I literally comped their meal.
Well, sounds like San Francisco to me. Sounds like some fucking shitty rich college kids. Mm-hmm. Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. We're on the road. We had Benny Buttcheeks, the consigliere of Stavvy Baby Enterprises. We were feasting on Factor meals. We need things that are easy to munch on. We got a little fridge here in the tour bus. I'm not eating bad. I told you guys, this tour is going to be different. We're packing our food, and a big, big help for us is Factor meals. You can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor keto meals. Me personally, I don't eat Factor for every meal, so I'm not really cranking that 8 pounds in 8 weeks situation, but I'm doing good. I've actually lost a little weight on this tour, thanks in large part to Factor meals. They arrive fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any activity. All kinds of different dietary preferences. We got our beautiful video guy. He's a vegetarian. They got stuff for him, but you know me, I'm a protein bastard. I need that stuff, man. And they got me locked and loaded over at Factor. No matter how you want to eat, Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast. Factor Podcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Well, that's fascinating, and you clearly have a wealth of knowledge, Amy.
Oh,
you have a lot to tell the people.
So true.
You've had
I've been alive a long time.
You've had a hilarious, a fucked up childhood, but you have a good sense of humor about it.
Stav.
And hopefully we can help others. And man, this is so small, Eldest. I can't see dick. We can maybe
Not a thing.
maybe maximize it or some shit, or make it bigger, whatever the fuck.
Let's see.
You don't know how to click the fucking window. You know what the fuck I'm saying.
I can't even come close to reading that.
I know, it's not even sort of a possibility. There you go.
There we're going.
You're so close, Eldest. There you go, buddy. Okay, play the fucking
Control
call.
plus. Okay.
Now play it. Oh, fuck.
Hey, Stavvy. I have a situation I'd like your take on.
Sure.
Calling from Canada, by the way. I'm a 30-year-old woman. My long-term boyfriend, we've been together for 8 years. He's 32. He had a childhood best friend that he essentially outgrew and cut off about 5 years ago. There was a lot of reasons why, but
Drama.
the straw that broke the camel's back was that essentially this scumbag of a guy tried to extort my boyfriend for nude pictures of me.
What?
As well as my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend.
What the fuck?
And there was so much more than that I could
More
get
than
into,
that?
but I won't take up your time.
Good for us.
Essentially, this person now started working out at our gym
Oh,
and
no.
has reached out to reconnect with my boyfriend and his former best friend. And my boyfriend seems to be kind of entertaining the idea of reintroducing this guy back into our lives.
That's nuts.
And I just don't know how to feel about it. I don't feel like it's my place
No,
to
you
tell him
do.
who he can
It
and
is
cannot
your
be friends
place.
with. But this guy just makes me super uncomfortable.
Are you fucking
And
kidding?
I really dislike him. So I'm curious what you think I have sort of the authority to dictate here around their friendship.
What?
Any thoughts? I'd appreciate. Thank you. Bye.
What the fuck?
But
That's
it's your
crazy.
nudes.
I know, it's like, it'd be one thing if he was a complete dick to your, boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
If he did something like, whatever, stole money from him.
And you're like, I don't think that person's good for you.
Yeah, you could still say that, by the way. By the way,
Yeah.
you've been together for 8 fucking years.
Yeah, you could say
This
whatever
is his
you want.
best friend. This isn't even like a guy at work that he goes and gets beers with every 4 months. This is
Yeah.
a guy who was exiled from his life, who
Childhood
tried,
friend, right?
childhood friend,
yeah.
who tried to fucking extort him to see you naked and another one of his ex-girlfriends, which, by the way, you guys have been together 8 years. How fucking old is this ex-girlfriend? He's trying to get pictures from like a girl who was like 20.
He's pulling nudes off of fucking Ericsson from
Yeah. It's like, what? By the way, what's even the fucking megabytes on that? He's trying to
Do
get
you
these
think there's
fuzzy
like
ass razor nudes. Why do you even want those? That's a whole other thing, right?
Those BlackBerry cameras were terrible.
This is fucking nuts. I mean, you can obviously say,
There's like a weird obsession going on that this guy has with his friend, maybe? Like, sort of weird fucking talented Mr. Ripley
yeah,
shit.
I don't know. I actually don't really get why the friend would want to get. You're right. There's got to be something weird going on here. I mean, I guess, again, we've been childhood best friends. There's no world where either one of us tries to fucking extort each other for nudes of our
You haven't
ex-girlfriends.
tried to get his wife's nudes?
No, I have not. I really have not.
What better time than now?
Yeah.
Do you like having a
if
job?
we want to really understand this call, we have to exchange nudes. You know what? Not even your wife. An ex. Although, nah, actually, you can keep those.
You got him already?
You know what? That's all you, Eldest, actually. But like, I don't even understand a world where he wants this person back in his life. Now, I guess the best thing I can chalk it up to is like insane immaturity, or even just like not understanding how bad this must feel to his.
Yeah.
Because he probably said no, obviously, right?
I'm not surprised by him being. I mean, you know how dudes are. You guys
Sure.
will. hang with a fucking demon over like upsetting anybody
That
or
is
taking
true.
a stand.
That is actually
He's
very
like,
true.
yeah, my good friend's a rapist, but I don't want to have a talk with him
Yes,
about it.
yes,
It's
yes.
exhausting.
No, that's a good point. And it's like these are also like this is also like potential digital sex crimes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It didn't ultimately happen. I guess the point, you're absolutely correct, but he also tried to extort him, right?
Yes.
So it's like, I know what you're talking about where it's like people will definitely
He's
turn
a
a
good
blind
guy.
eye. But he's fucking chill to drink beers with.
We played Little League together.
That girl's a fucking bitch anyway.
It'll fuck up the fantasy
Come
league.
on, the fantasy. We gotta find another guy for the fantasy league. The ecosystem is so good.
I also understand her need to be like, hey, can I step in here? Because there is always that thing where you're like, I don't want to be one of those nags,
Sure.
you know, who's like telling a guy who he can hang out with. But your instincts are correct.
Fully
like, this
correct.
is insane.
And by the way, I know you're saying about that. I get that to being a worry for women, but it's like you've been together 8 years.
yeah, this is not new.
And it's like if he was somebody, here's where I would feel this way if I were her. If he was somebody that just didn't do anything wrong, but she had a bad feeling about,
Yeah.
that's when I would be like, I just am uncomfortable around this guy. I don't like him.
Yeah.
And even then, you could, because this is your partner of 8 years, and the thing they should want to do is make you comfortable around their friends, you could even then have a conversation like, hey, I just don't like this guy. He fucking creeps
you
me
hang
out.
out with him, but
you
I don't
hang out
wanna
with him.
go.
Don't bring him around to any like
No.
big functions. I don't want him to meet my
When
fucking
I'm doing
family.
my nude photo shoots, I
Yeah.
don't want him at the
Yeah,
house.
I don't want him there. I don't want him
Doing
all of
the
a sudden
lighting.
working. Yeah, he's not. I don't want him being the gaffer. You could even have a conversation then because that's what a fucking relationship is about. You should be able to even go a little above what's acceptable if it really affects you emotionally. That's something I think people should have in a very open, trusting relationship.
Yes.
Like, hey, I just am not feeling comfortable here. And you should be able to feel that way.
And 8 formative years too, because she's only 30. So that's like, yeah, you've been
Yeah,
with this
that's-
dude like your whole 20s. Like, yeah, you can tell him.
And so so that's like, that's when I understand what worrying about being a nag. You shouldn't be worrying about this at all.
No,
This is somebody who
you're correct.
fucking committed like he was legitimately trying to commit a sex crime that involved you. It's
Yeah.
not even like, it's literally you. He's trying to look at he's trying to like do a fucking low level form of assault to you by like looking at your private nudes. You could be like, get this guy the fuck out of here. And I will take it a step further to say, if the person you are with does not understand that, you shouldn't be with him.
Not a good match.
You shouldn't be with him.
Yeah, and she said this is just one of many things he's done.
I know.
So
this
I
is,
can't imagine
what the fuck
the
are
other
we talking
shit
about here?
is.
And I do think that's what it ultimately, like the subtext in this call is together 8 years, formative years, like you said. People start thinking like, this has been my whole youth.
Yeah.
I'm kind of locked in here. You can kind of hear that a little in her voice even.
Yeah.
That's kind of the next worry of like, is this, if I start nagging now, like, or if this starts an argument, are we going to break up and then I'm left to fend for myself, 30 years old, I haven't dated, that's a nightmare.
Old, useless
disgusting.
to society.
Just a
Washed.
You should honestly go to a monastery.
Nobody wants those nudes
nobody
anymore.
wants those. Unless you're
if the
keeping
guy-
it tight. Well, that's, that's how much.
What if the guy was specifically asking for her older nudes?
Yeah.
No,
No.
from 8 years ago, bro. No, not
Obama
now.
era.
Yeah, when you first met.
But like, I get that, like, kind of like, maybe it's not even being said out loud. Maybe she's not even letting herself think that. But I know people who are in long-term relationships who they go from their 20s to their 30s and they worry like, if this collapses,
Yeah.
I'm fucked. But here's the
Start
problem.
over, yeah.
That's fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
again, at the end of the
There's
day,
so much time.
you don't want to be, not only is there so much time, even if there wasn't, even if you're fucking old as shit, you don't want to be with people that don't respect your
Yeah.
baseline desires and emotions.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
the thing is you've been together this long with someone and you trust them, so then you question your own instincts because you're just like, wait, like I think I'm saying something really reasonable.
Yeah.
But he disagrees. Like I feel crazy.
Totally,
you know?
totally.
But we're like best friends. Like you should
Yeah.
know that this is not okay.
You gotta talk to him, and you also gotta like feel empowered to bring stuff that that really upsets you up to your fucking boyfriend, to your hopefully
It's the
seems like
minimum.
the absolute minimum. The absolute minimum. So good luck. What else we got, Big LD?
Hi, Stavvy, eldest, and guest. Big fan. I called yesterday, but I'm going to try and give some more explanation and be a bit more concise. I'll try and be quick. I'm a 32-year-old guy in Michigan. I have a wife and kid, 6 months old. So new family, new to all this. I have had self-esteem issues my entire life. I have kind of always hated the way I look. I say that, I know people have told me I'm not Brad Pitt, but
told you that?
I'm not an unattractive person. I run, I stay in shape. I generally eat healthy, my normal meals. This is the issue. I fucking hate myself.
Oh no, dude.
Buddy.
Hate myself. I hate how I look. There's nothing I can do about it, but and my wife doesn't know this. And
bro.
When she's not around, I'll go to the store and I'll spend a ton of money on junk food and I'll just fucking binge eat like crazy.
Sounds so
Respect. Sounds
I'm talking
Wait.
big
What's
things
the
of ice cream.
problem?
Cats away.
You hate yourself, and when you're sad, you eat a lot of junk food? No, listen, pal.
That way your wife's out of town, you binge eat?
You have a good-ass time? Sounds like what I dream of. When I think of being married, I dream of these days automatically. Like, that's part of it to me. But anyway.
He's telling this to two fat traveling comedians.
I mean,
You're talking about Saturday before the early show? Yeah. Sounds good.
You're talking about clearing out that little fucked up hotel gift shop with like Haagen-Dazs bars and Doritos, paying $9 for fucking 2 Rice Krispie trees.
I'm crunching up chips on the cup of noodles. And if they have a little cheese in there.
Oh, yeah.
When my wife's out of town, sometimes it's like, it's just like a personal challenge. See what kind of damage you can do with a seamless.
You turn into an animal. Yeah, like a wild beast.
It's like, whoa, could I really do this?
Could she see how I'm noticeably fatter in 4.5 days? Okay, keep going here.
Like crazy. Like, I'm talking big things, ice cream, chips, all that stuff, like a ton. And
Nothing
it
I
hasn't
haven't
become an
seen
issue
before,
because I run every day, even though I feel like shit doing it after this happens. So because of that, my weight's never really gone up. I've just I've managed to outrun it, which I'm sure is not healthy.
No.
The only thing you can really tell, my skin isn't the best, and it hasn't, it's okay, but that's the only real mark that there's an issue. But my self-esteem is clearly terrible. I went to a therapist. He told me literally I talk like someone who was sexually assaulted as a kid because of the way I spoke about myself, my self-esteem issues.
Hey, you sound like you've been touched.
Yeah, what are you, some kind of freak that got fucked as a kid? You just eat some fucking bonbons. Fucking man up. Just an awesome.
Terrible therapist.
He went to some Italian therapist. What do you get? You sound like you got your little dick sucked by a guy when you were 4.
It happens.
You just eat a little extra lasagna. Grow up. Hilarious.
It's called having an uncle, kid.
It happens to the best of us. You do curls until you don't fucking
Must have
remember
been
it
a
anymore.
handsome young boy.
Yeah. Don't go.
That's
What are you gonna
so
ruin the
fucked.
guy's life?
I've never
Anyway.
heard of a therapist saying some shit like that.
Well,
That's crazy.
we also do have a pretty unreliable narrator who probably doesn't take anything charitably towards himself.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I
Yeah.
mean. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he hinted at it. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's see what else we got, Eldis.
My self-esteem issues. Kicker is, my brother was sexually assaulted as a kid. I don't think I was, but it was a family friend who assaulted my brother, and it's totally possible that I just don't remember it and I was that young because it happened to him when he was really young. I can't ask him about this stuff anymore because unfortunately he passed away to a drug overdose. It just keeps getting messier. I'm not going to keep going. But long story short, how do I come clean to my wife? I've been doing this with food. And how do I stop hating myself? Thanks. Bye.
Oh, dude. I mean, look, this obviously this is difficult, but I will say this kind of piggybacks off our last call about being comfortable with your partner. And he clearly, the self-esteem issues, He probably feels lucky to be with his wife, doesn't want to burden her, doesn't want to do anything. I will say, if what you're confessing to your wife is, I sometimes eat 2 Papa John's pizzas and then go on runs the next day. You know how much better that is than I'm fucking the babysitter? Like the things you could confess to your wife.
He's
this
shredded.
To me is not even a confession, dude. This is so in your own head. And I do think, like, as much as we're kind of fucking with you, I think it is kind of important for you to hear this, because I know that I've definitely been where he is, where you hate yourself for different things. And the shit in your head, when you don't talk to somebody and it just bounces in your head, this insane echo chamber.
It starts to feel true.
It starts to feel true. And not only true, but like insurmountable. When in the reality, this isn't that bad, dude. It really isn't.
No. And I mean, I feel like even with I'm sorry about your brother, by the way. And that's so tragic. And whether you were abused or not as well, and you just forgot it, it sounds also like you're looking for, like, why am I like this? Like some sort of easy answer. But it's, some people are just depressives. It's literally your brain chemistry. It's like any other health issue you might have, and you just, like, you shouldn't be ashamed to get help or take medication for it. Because, like, brain chemistry will tell you a lot of fucking lies. I also want to say your wife probably knows about the snacks. Wives know shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're never going to hide it as well as you think you are.
Totally.
But I'm sure that because she knows you well and she knows he's, like, struggles with self-esteem, she probably doesn't want to call him out.
Totally.
Like, hey, you shredded fuck. What were you eating today while I was gone?
Why are your tank tops, why is the sweat in your tank tops orange and smell like hot Cheetos?
Why is there chocolate on your abs?
I mean, dude, that's the thing. It's like, and what you're saying is you're looking for a clean, like, why am I like this thing? The other thing I'll say is it doesn't really fucking matter why you are. Like, I think clearly you have an eating disorder. That's like the most clear thing of all, right? I know what that's. I literally just have I didn't think I had an eating disorder. I'm like, eating disorder. That's like, girls throw up. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then I just like would hit it off. Like, I dated so many girls with eating disorders when I was younger, and it was like, it was a yin and yang thing where we were like just the opposite ends of the like food spectrum. And like, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter why. This is something, you have an affinity towards binging, whatever. And it's just about like, how do I get control of it?
Yeah,
right?
and
like,
you're seeking comfort.
And
it could be anything. You could be doing drugs, you could be drinking, you could be jerking off too much.
Yeah.
But it's, if your sort of main feeling that you have a lot of the time, it sounds like, is shame, like that's just going to come up, until you just tackle that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's really hard.
It's super hard. And it's also like, you have to, and the other thing I'll say is like, it's not, of all the addictions, legitimately, dude, you kind of have the best one. Like, food is not that bad, but also you work out. And so we have two different things. You have like the hating yourself thing and the eating disorder thing. And it's like, maybe just try and take some fucking steps towards the eating disorder stuff. Maybe you didn't like that therapist. I would say don't give up, because therapists are just fucking people. And maybe you didn't click with one. And, it took me a while to find a couple good ones. I had one I liked in Baltimore, and it was tough finding one in New York, but I found one and it works for me. And maybe, and you need to go in there with like these, you're in there with these special problems. You're not just yapping about whatever. You have shit you want to deal with. Self-esteem is a hard one, dude. Like, it really is. I mean, you're not going to really hear it, but you're doing great. Sounds like you're a fucking good father and husband. You just kind of take all this stuff inward. And look, dude, maybe you are annoyed at stuff about your life. Like, this is also classic. The other thing, maybe you don't feel you're the kind of person who can't speak up, so you turn it all inward. I know that feeling. I definitely dealt with that for years with therapy, about just speaking up. And I would not say things, I would not discuss things that bothered me, and then I would turn it inward, and that was like a whole thing. And now,
knowing that people that love you want to hear that.
Yeah.
And it's less isolating if you talk, to friends, family, and of course a therapist.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're not a burden on her if you talk to her about this. Like, she loves you. She's with you.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you're just going to have to have that conversation. My hunch is she's going to like totally accept it and see what she can do to help you. On your own end, yeah, I would say keep trying to go to therapy, maybe specifically for an eating disorder, to just get really granular, and maybe that opens up your greater self-esteem problems. But like, yeah, dude, it will feel good. And I will also say, I have never had a conversation that I've dreaded. I've never had it and then
not felt better.
And then regretted it, right? It's always been, holy fuck, I feel not only better about the issue, I feel better as a person. It feels like leveling up as a human being. I feel like more of an adult. I've had those with people with my family specifically, and in relationships too. So keep it going. You'll be fine. And I promise you, I have eaten twice what you eat in your worst day, and I didn't even consider exercising for weeks afterwards.
And didn't feel bad about it.
It
Not for a second.
Felt only bad about it when I was on the toilet. I was like, why did I go spicy? Why? Why did I get the extra hot wings? If I had just gone parm garlic, the damage on my hole would be much less. So
yeah, I'm like, send me your workout plan, buddy. Like, I've long wondered exactly how long I need to run to offset $45 of Szechuan food.
I promise you,
Forrest Gump it.
Yeah, I want to spend time with this guy, and we're gonna see what he eats, and we're gonna be so sad.
I'm like, mentor me, dude.
Yeah, I hate myself too, but I don't run. Good luck, buddy. Folks, this episode of Stavvy's World is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah. We're out here on the road. Look at us. We're in the back of the tour bus. But I don't want to be in the bus every night. Okay, I'm here with Eldest. We have our health czar, George. We have Saxon, our cameraman. We have JP McDade. That's a lot of beef in one bus. Every once in a while, the boys want to get off, find a nice hotel room, a nice stay. What do we use to do that? Booking.com. Just last week in Seattle, I was tired of these guys. I found myself an awesome hotel room right downtown, right near our hotel, or right near our theater. Found a great hotel, luxurious, great price. No matter what you're looking to do, if you're looking to stay, anywhere you're trying to stay in the U.S., I know Booking.com will have exactly what you're looking for. No matter who you are, you don't have to just be, you don't have to be out traversing America with your friends doing stand-up comedy. You could just want a little weekend getaway. Maybe hit the beach. Maybe get a cabin in the mountains. Whatever it is, Booking.com has it for you. Find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
I fucked up the first call. I'm doing this again.
No worries.
But for context, I lived in the South my whole life, and, I was pretty slut-shamed just for literally no fucking reason. I just have big tits, and people were like, "You're a whore." Oh. And so
yay for the tits, boo for the
now
whore.
I live in a big city, and I don't really know. I've been in a relationship for about 4 years, and we're opening up a relationship, and I really want to fuck these two people, and I don't know which one I want to fuck.
Interesting.
Because it's kind of a one-pass trial run type situation.
Pause this.
So the first.
Pause it. Awesome.
What is this? Two
I just
siblings?
want to say, love seeing women act. Female dirtbags. One of my favorite genres.
Big-titted dirtbag?
Big-titted female dirtbags. Oh, brother. I'm getting hot around the collar. But I love seeing women behave like dickhead dudes traditionally do. And I also like when guys kind of get a little cunty and, be like gossipy and drama-filled. Love when we switch roles, folks. We should all be able to do the stereotypes of the other. But yeah, this is so funny.
Live your whole life in the big city.
We're opening it up. I get a one-time pass to fuck someone, and I really want to make it worth my while.
Oh, that's okay.
That's what this is.
I thought she was saying there are two people she wants to fuck, but she has to choose one. I thought they're like siblings or something.
Well, she has. So from what I can gather,
she gets one hall pass.
She gets
so it's not opening up.
I think it's a trial period.
I think it's a trial run just to
see how it goes. Yeah. Which I am incredibly dubious of the relationship working with a situation like this, but we'll save that for the rest of the call. Let's keep going. I just wanted to shout her out for this line of thought.
Past trial run type situation. So the first person is this guy that I met at this summer conference thing, and He is insanely talented, and I really admire him. And I've been admiring him for years. And when we met, we were both super drunk, and we were being flirty, and he's being touchy, and I didn't dislike it. But he's also, like, I'm pretty sure in his late 30s, and I'm 22. So
I don't get it.
I don't really know if this is just me falling for, like, my daddy issues, telling me that my talent, that like this guy's talent is why I want to fuck him. I don't really know.
What's wrong with that?
But
pause this.
That's all we have.
I just want to really quickly. We're gonna definitely finish this call. I just want to pause in here and say, if you're a hot girl in your 20s with big tits and you're thinking, there's a talented guy in his 30s who reminds me of a father type guy. Maybe he's older, maybe, I don't know, balding, a little extra pounds. Just speaking kind of in complete theoretical territory here. Don't worry about it.
No, you're not going to insult him.
I promise you, he is not going to feel insulted. And also, maybe it is your daddy issues thing, but you know what? We've all got them. Now's the time to figure them out.
You're in the big city with your big titties.
And you like it. Anyway, so again, this is nothing to do with this particular call. Just more of a general note for hot women in their 20s
You're
everywhere.
not going to hurt his feelings fucking him for his talent.
And I don't think it'll hurt you either. Let's keep going.
But the other person is this girl that is Greek girl.
This call keeps getting awesome and awesomer.
She's like my best friend at the moment, and I want to fuck her so bad. And she's super flirty with me. We pretend to kiss all the time, type situations. Sometimes we kiss a little, whatever. And we're going abroad for college, and I'm like, this is my time. If I'm gonna fuck her, it should be in fucking Greece when we visit her cousins.
Okay, did somebody AI generate a call to make my dick hard?
He's rocked up right now.
A 22-year-old with huge tits, and the two people she wants to fuck is her hot, will they, won't they, Greek friend.
I guess I should eat her out in Greece.
Talented guy that doesn't really do it for her, but it's just, am I just respecting him? It's not really physical. Like, I mean, what's going on here? We're describing, like, if I were to imagine a threesome I want to have, it's this setup. But anyway, this really feels targeted
like
at me.
Off to your imagination.
I like to get into absolutely. I love to get a nice scenario going. Oh, anyway, sorry, I'm gonna keep it together.
And yeah, I don't know. I need your help. I want her to be my friend, but I also want her to sit on my face, and I feel like I can't have both. Thank you, Stavvy.
I mean, this is funny. This is also like, you're fucking 22. Just fuck whoever you want. Like, this is the whole...
I know. That relationship's not going to last. You might as well just fuck around right now.
Like, and here's what I will say is, like, yeah, you're 22. By the way, of all the people, we haven't discussed who... The person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, that she's in this relationship. How long did she say the relationship was? 4 years? Did she say? Scroll up, you fucking idiot. What do you mean you don't know? Yeah, it's fucking right there, dickhead. God, you're so bad.
I'm toggling between two screens at one, man.
Oh, fuck. You're momentarily producing? I'm sorry to make you do that.
He seems stressed. Leave him alone.
So, okay, let's do a little more math here. Relationship for 4 years.
Yeah.
She's 22.
Yeah,
18,
that's high school.
This is over.
I know.
I hate to just be this, to get this much into brass tacks.
It's not, if you're going to open it up or give a hall pass or whatever, like, you should get one pass for each gender.
That's a great point.
She shouldn't have to choose.
By visibility day.
Yes.
Although then you could argue they get more rights. I don't know. Anyway, you could almost argue that's biphobic. We could go through we could put it through its paces later, that argument. But so from what I'm hearing here, you're young. You were like in a repressive environment. You meet people that you want to. I honestly think you should just fuck whoever you want to fuck.
Yeah, and you're going
now.
abroad. You're going to be in Greece. Like, she's not the only face you're going to want to sit on.
Sure.
You know?
But I also think
somebody's going to combine your interests. An old Greek daddy.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Likes
now that we're talking about this.
to be sat upon.
No, you're
On the
right.
beach.
You should fuse this into two people. The older guy that you respect his talent. No, but honestly, from the description here, it seems like she's kind of in love with her friend.
Yeah,
Like
I think so.
Of the people you've described, what I would do, I mean, I think you clearly want to hook up with her. Maybe it's a bad idea. I don't know. I also feel like young queer people kind of fuck each other and stay friends.
Yeah, I've definitely been down this road. It was tricky to navigate because if it's your best friend, then I'm like, do I just have a girlfriend?
Yeah,
I mean, we live together, fuck each other, and we're best friends. That seems like I have a girlfriend.
Yes.
But we didn't like speak that out loud until much later.
Totally. I mean, that's exactly,
Yeah.
you kind of like fall into that situation.
Yeah.
And that also happens, by the way, in your early 20s.
Yes.
You meet, and she's also said she's kind of my best friend now, which means she probably just kind of met her. This isn't like a long-term
6
thing.
months ago.
What you mean is you met someone that you're kind of enamored with, you think they're hot, and you're holding on to a relationship from freshman year of college.
Yeah, but also with the older guy, she said when they were touchy and flirting, she said, I didn't dislike it. That doesn't seem very horny to me.
Yeah. I mean, but she has some weird horny feel. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Of the two, it seems clear to me you actually really want to fuck your friend.
Yeah.
But I would also say, like, if like truly doing the bit about me trying to fuck this girl, let's throw that out of it. Like, I'm not doing this bit anymore. You're young and you said you came from a repressed environment. It's like, you can also just try some shit out.
Yeah, for sure.
You maybe fuck a guy like that, and if you don't like it, you didn't like it, or if you liked it, oh, this is something I want to explore. Like, that's what your youth is for.
And if you're in a
Figuring
moment where
yourself
you're
out.
like, what if I explore these things and I lose my relationship? Then you're kind of ready to lose it anyway.
For
or
sure.
it'll work out again later if it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And like, the guy's chill about it. But
Yeah.
I just really want to know what his talent is. Because what if he's a juggler?
Yeah.
He's a magician.
Yeah, he's so good at darts. I met this 39-year-old father of two.
He's
fat
a
as
pool
shit.
shark.
Just fucking, what's up, babe? But yeah, if I had to pick one, it sounds like you actually love your friend and like want to date her. I would probably fuck her of the two, but I think you should be out there exploring at this age. Good luck, little buddy.
Hey, Stavvy. I literally only ever listen to your podcasts or your show when my boyfriend puts it on, but turns out it's really funny and I love
Thank you.
So thank you for putting out great content. Love the advice column aspect. Anyway, I live in a city in the Northeast, a big city that is not New York City,
Okay.
but I have 3 friends who have spent a considerable amount of time living in New York. They no longer live there, but I have 2 friends from New York City and one who has lived there for like 7 years. And they all now live in the same city as me. I love these friends. We have a lot of stuff in common. We always have a great time when we go out. However, inevitably when we hang out in a group, the conversation always comes back to living in New York City, an experience I cannot relate to myself,
Sorry,
having
babe.
never done it.
That's how they
Yeah,
Get
are.
with the
I
winning
just
team, bitch. Not my fault you never fucking reached your potential living in the greatest city in America.
Sorry you don't like to struggle for 8 years.
To myself, having never done it. And I just kind of have to sit there.
Remember when the G train was shut down that summer? Ooh, we had to take the fucking shuttle bus to Court Square.
That's not the
Mamma
real
mia.
Ray's slice.
You don't know what that's like, bitch. God, literally us and fucking me and you in Baltimore and fucking me and you when you live in Ohio in 30 years, Eldis, and your children are like, we get it, Dad.
As they all reminisce and talk about living there and food and the problems and transportation, et cetera.
Transportation, yeah.
While I can contribute nothing and just kind of have to endure this
She
experience.
sounds so tired.
Oh, no.
I guess my question is, should I say something about this? Should I bring anything up? The fact that I feel like I'm like totally omitted from this part of the conversation, or should I just like shut the fuck up and suffer in silence? Would love to hear your thoughts.
This is
Thanks
so fucking
always.
funny.
Bye-bye.
I didn't think about how fucking obnoxious that was. Like, this is the problem, is that I'm trying to think what, like, you know what's so funny? I think literally all our friends lived in New York. Like, who would we be hanging out with where we would be doing this without them?
I mean,
give us your, as a non-New Yorker, yes.
I lived there at some point.
Wait, how long did you live there?
Not that long, like in 2012.
Okay, yes. Oh, yeah, that's because I think that must have been when we, no.
But I spent a lot of time there.
No, we met when you were visiting, because I moved in 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I met you in Portland, maybe.
Probably.
Well, I mean, it sounds to me like you gotta move to New York.
Yeah, you gotta go do 6 months,
The
have something to talk about. Yeah.
The parks.
Yep.
I mean, there's people up all hours. It's great.
Well, no, because she missed the boat. Because what this is her friends are desperately trying to cling to their youth. Like, I know this. And here's the thing. Actually, I don't relate, because me and Eldest, we made it in New York, baby. We're not your fucking loser friends that had to move back to your hometown. This is that kind of fucking behavior of, like, still trying to cling on to the fact that you're better than your hometown friends because you live. Because I remember remember when you're 20? I don't know if you had this experience, but on the East Coast, especially in like Baltimore or Phil, or like, you know, these like kind of East Coast, Mid-Atlantic cities, it was like just moving to New York, knowing someone who lived in New York, you're like, whoa.
Oh, I know.
They lived in New York. I remember Els would come back to Baltimore with a Bed-Stuy address just to get pussy. He was like, finally, now I'm respected in this town because I live in Brooklyn. So those people still trying to kind of cash in on those credentials. And it's like, I mean, they just happen to be there when they're young. People are nostalgic for their youth. And it's like this, they're just like still trying to cling on to the magic of that. I feel bad because I'm not able to give very constructive advice here. Because I just totally get where these people are coming from.
Yeah, they're annoying, but we've all done it.
They're annoying, but it's like, if I flamed out and I was living in Baltimore, do you know how much I would talk about? Yeah, I was just, oh man, getting a slice and David Tell smoking behind me.
My friend fucked a raven once. I didn't know her at the time, but New York's crazy.
New York's just such a hell of a town.
Anything's
look, I
possible.
wanted a family, though. You're like making up the reason you left, even though the reason is you couldn't fucking hack it. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to imagine if we were having one of these conversations and one of our friends was like, hey guys, can we talk about something else?
Anything else?
We'd be like, shut the fuck up, you fucking loser. But I mean, that's also dudes compared to like a group of 4 women. I don't know if they would. Do you think you would openly bully a friend like that if she was mad about New York?
I have a hard time understanding why she cares so much about it. I mean, you can just literally get up and leave the room.
Jealousy. Never lived there. Don't get it.
Never had a chopped cheese at 4 a.m.
Never went to a freaking bodega. You don't even know what it's like. Yeah. You know how you go to Rite Aid? Well, imagine a smaller, shittier Rite Aid with a cat inside of it that sells bad sandwiches.
And a kid making a sandwich who's never not on the phone with somebody.
Yeah, you've never bought condoms from a 13-year-old Yemeni on FaceTime? You don't know what living's like, bitch.
It's true. It feels true. I don't want to be not on her side,
she called in and is just getting the same. She called in for sympathy, and we're like, yeah, let's do some of that. Let's do the thing she's annoyed at. Remember when we lived together, and we fucking all had a small, that IKEA
You get a
couch.
$40 obstructed view ticket to see Rent on a Wednesday afternoon. Big pole right in front of you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what can you do? Can you switch it to something annoying? But it's like you're outmanned here. You're fucked. You don't understand how obnoxious the love for New York is for people that move there. You missed the boat, and all you got to do is sit there and fucking take it, baby. I don't even know what to tell you.
Staten Island Ferry.
Yeah. So they live there. They're all in the Northeast. But I mean, if you ever get mad, you should be like, well, why are you guys here then? Why are you back if it's so fucking great?
Yeah, exactly. And nobody went that far.
Yeah.
You know, for when you grow up on the West Coast, like New York is always like this fantasy. You're like, oh, one day I'll live in New York, you know? And it seems like so unattainable. But it's like you went from Philly to New York. I'm like,
it still feels, I mean, maybe being poor in Baltimore is different.
For sure.
I truly felt like it was like a fantasy place.
Yeah.
Like New York. Like it just does have that myth. I just think it does have that quality for a lot of people.
It's magical. Oh, and the Christmas lights this time of year.
Yeah.
Bitch, you're wrong.
So yeah, I'm sorry. It's great.
It rips.
Sorry you fucking did the sensible thing. You probably own a house now. They're probably fucked. But hey, that's what you get actually, is the whatever sensible decision you made. You put down roots in a place that was more supportive for you. You probably get to experience things they don't. Now, if you're a train wreck,
savings account.
If you're a train wreck in your hometown, maybe that's really what this is about. Because you choose either sticking around and like sort of not sustainability, but like support, like a nice support system, or you move out, you have your wild, either New York or whatever, you take a risk. You didn't take the risk. Hopefully that paid dividends for you. And if it didn't, that's what you're really mad about. You're not mad.
It's
you
not
never
too
went
late,
to.
by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is though.
Get down there.
No, it's over. There's nothing more pathetic than a 36-year-old being like, I'm doing it, baby. Williamsburg, here I come. And it's like, oh, there's an Apple store there. It's like, what are you, you just watched Girls as a 36-year-old and you're like, I'm making the big move. It's like,
give me a pickleback.
It's over, man. That's when you move to like a cool, smaller city.
Yeah.
Get a farm. You know, you have to do, there's other cool risks to take in your 30s. Like
you can't
30s.
be moving to Crown Heights.
You can't be You can't have 3 roommates in Bushwick and saying it's East Williamsburg, actually, when you're 37. You can't be sharing a bathroom with a fucking 22-year-old they, them as a fucking 37-year-old man who's trying a new haircut out. That's
all our
over.
neighbors are Hasidic. It's so great. They love that we're here.
Yeah, dude, sorry, but you got really nothing out of that.
I feel bad.
But I got to reminisce for a little bit about
how awesome New York is.
How awesome New York is. My youth, it's awesome. Yeah, it must really be obnoxious to people, but whatever, suck my dick. Can't help that I'm a dreamer.
Hello, Stav, and hello, eldest and guest. Hope everyone is doing well. First time, long time. So one of my best friends is planning on moving to the same city as me and wants to be roommates. And I don't know if that would be the best idea. So she's a woman, but she's full lesbian, and I'm a straight guy.
Full lesbian.
Not anything there. I'm just saying
fully lesbian.
She's ripe with it.
But anyway, she's a homie, and I love her to death. I just don't think we're compatible as roommates at all. And I know this after having spent weekends together out of town, her having stayed at my place before. She's a very go all the time type person. Always needs to be around people, always needs to be doing something.
Projects to do.
I'm the opposite. I like to have a good time, but I enjoy just my own space and just my own quiet time alone. And when she has stayed at my place, we've clashed over little things like whether to have the AC on versus the windows, or what time we wake up. I'm a morning person. She is not by any means.
A roommate.
So she's just sort of kind of stubborn about having things her way, even when she's staying at another person's place.
That's insane.
And just in general, she's kind of like that. And I don't think it's a selfishness thing. I think she just lacks that social awareness to where if we were living together,
she can advocate for herself
a lot.
She's not a coward
we're also in a band
you.
together.
Just a band
Keep going. Sorry.
We're also in a band together. A band that's doing fairly well. So not only are we best friends, but we're kind of almost like coworkers in a way too. Being in a band, you have responsibilities that you share together. So I think we'd clash a lot. And at the end of the day, she is one of my best friends in the whole world. I love her. I just don't want our relationship to spoil. And I've always heard never to live with a best friend because you might ruin the friendship. And I am just facing that for the first time and trying to feel out, you know, what that might be like. And I kind of don't think it would be the best idea. But thanks for any advice, my friend. Thank you, you fat rascal. All right.
You got it, buddy. I mean, yeah, this is such an open and shut. This almost feels like he just called in so that he could show her this call. But I mean, it's so
he
clear.
doesn't know how to say it, but you just have to say it. I mean, just say you don't think it'd be a good idea. It's too much to work with someone, collaborate
too many
creatively. I mean, some other stuff I don't really get. Like, I don't know why you care when she wakes up when she's visiting you. That's fucking bizarre. I've had breakfast ready for hours.
But
she was out lesbianing all night.
Is he the morning person? No, he's the morning person. She's not, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of annoying. Someone's on your couch.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, they've just been sleeping till noon. You're like, all right, can I make some noise? I get that being a little annoying, whatever. But, like, at the end of the day, yes, they're roommates. And I also think it's probably more of a personality clash. This guy seems more reserved. She's like, I kind of know who this girl is already, where she's like, oh, actually, we're going to need it to be 66 degrees in here. You know what I mean? Like, she's definitely, like, telling him what to do. And, like, that's... If he seems the kind of guy who's gonna not say shit, here's what I think he really wants to avoid: her steamrolling him and him being resentful.
Or her being mad when he says it's not a good idea.
Sure. Yeah. Yes. Either
Which
way.
I wonder how she treats everybody in the band. If she's like pushy in the band.
Yeah, maybe she's pushy in the band. He's like, but I think you're right, Amy. In that he can say like, look, you're my best friend. You know, we're bros. We're in a band. That's 2 out of 3. We can't. We need a little space from each other. And it's I even want to hang out with you, but it's just like, I don't. You know, this just isn't. It's too much. And I think you're totally fine. I don't want it to be a strain
on our friendship.
Like if we moved in together, and whatever we didn't even give a fuck. But it's like the reason I think when we moved in with another friend of ours and just a random comic, not a random comic I knew. I think it worked because we ruined our friend's life, and she didn't say anything, and then every 3 months she would have a mental breakdown, and we would just like put our heads down and like dutifully clean. We would deep clean the apartment. She would start crying. She would come home from like the only person with a real hard job. I was an aspiring comedian. I was an open micer in New York.
Excuse you.
I'm sorry, you worked at CBS Local. The
affiliate.
You were doing listicles after the CMAs that no one was fucking reading. And another guy was a comic, and she just had a demanding job. And she just come back, mess. Rappers everywhere. We're fucking high as shit playing fucking PlayStation. We're like, what's up? And she's just like, you haven't done a fucking dish. And we're like, just high, being like, we're so sorry.
Some people aren't meant to have roommates. I'm not good at having roommates because I'm her. I'm the full lesbian. You know what I mean? I'll try to control the situation, and because that's like your haven. You know, home is like you want it to be how you want it.
Of
and
course.
if you can't, if
you're
work
not
that out with
compatible
other people, then it just doesn't. You just have to know that about yourself. She needs to get her own little lesbian pad.
Get her own little
Stay up
little
as late as she
house,
wants.
stay up all night.
Sitting on faces.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Going to Greece.
No, that's the other one. That's the big-titted one. Let's not, let's not forget, let's not mix up our queer women on this show.
Only the big-titted queers matter.
No, the other ones do too.
All right.
I mean, as much? I don't know, but they matter. I'm not. There's a ranking system.
Stavros.
In my personal, not that my ranking system matters.
Yeah,
but.
and also it doesn't sound like you guys are in your early 20s. That would be a trickier conversation. It's like this is just adulthood. If she argues it and is like you're being unreasonable or we really should live together, it's just like it's too bad.
Yeah.
Because we've all seen this play out.
Totally.
So many, once you're at a certain age, you're like, this has never worked well.
Yeah, you should be like, no. You should be like, it seems like you'll be fine. You just have to talk to her about it. But this is the rare time where someone has their mind made up and they're looking for us to agree with them.
Yeah.
It's usually like, can I cheat on my wife? It's never like, can I have a reasonable adult conversation with my friend?
About boundaries.
Yes, you can, buddy.
I feel like he does sound like a little more of a pussy than her, and like
definitely.
It's like on the best friends thing alone, it's like, yeah, if you and your best friend are moving to the same city, it would make sense to like move in together. But if he wants to go like the super safe route, like the band thing is the perfect coverage because it's like
we work
we're
together.
in a band, we work
Also,
together.
If you can't do any of it because you're too scared, just lie.
Yeah.
That you found somebody already.
Yeah. Say,
or my landlord hates lesbians.
Yeah. I'm homophobic now, but only from the hours of midnight to 8 a.m. So you can't sleep here. All right. Yeah, he's fine.
A lot of these calls are just people not wanting to have a tough conversation.
That's honestly 90% of them. That's what 90% of them boil down
that
to.
Everyone's like a huge pussy.
Yeah.
I've forgotten my whole life. This is why people treat me weird.
Mm-hmm. It's true. You had to fucking climb yourself out of that white trash muck.
To tell kids there's no Santa.
Yeah.
I'm just like, stop crying, you little pussy. Some conversations are hard.
Hit us, LD.
Hey, Stav. Hey, Aldous. Esteemed guest. So I'm currently in high school. I'm 17. And I go to this church, and there's this really bad bitch. She's like one of the fattest asses I've ever seen.
Praise God. Praise the Lord.
And anyways, she sings in the choir, and I have a friend in the choir that, like, they sometimes talk. And she thought I was fine and shit. And so we started DMing. Mm-hmm. Turns out she's 21 or about to be 21 this month. And I told her I turn 18 soon and I'm trying to get in that. But
yeah, for sure, dude.
Our parents know each other, which I didn't know because everyone in the church is kind of like interconnected in a weird way.
Oh, dude, did you know that if you go to the same church, your parents know each other? What a fucking young dumbass. He's just so horny. Like, that didn't occur to you? That's what being a community is. He's like explaining it like we've never heard of that.
Our dads are both deacons and they're like friends.
Crazy. Did you know that? The church is kind of like interconnected in this weird way.
It's called community.
This guy's awesome. This is a cute little kid here.
Yeah.
Kind of like interconnected in a weird way. So do I go for it or do I leave it? And some more context, that ass is definitely worth the awkward conversations. So nice. I don't know if it's morally wrong. Maybe I'm a victim, but she's so funny.
Maybe you're a victim. You're not a
victim.
victim.
17,
anyways, I'll see y'all.
Yeah, I get it, but come on. 17 about to turn 18.
I
a 20-year-old with a fat ass. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I don't know what state you're in. I would wait till your birthday.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know what the awkward conversation is like with their parents.
Who gives a fuck,
Nobody has to talk to their parents about this.
Who cares? I mean, I guess
Hey,
if they start
Dad.
dating.
I don't know if you've noticed this girl in the choir with the fat ass.
Dad, do you know how big this girl's cheeks are?
She's a little older than me.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna wait till after my birthday to try to get in there.
Yeah. Well, he says she's about to turn 21. He's about to turn 18. She's essentially 2 years older than him.
Yeah.
That's literally nothing.
It's still illegal in some places, but if your birthday's close, I
You
guess
should be able to, if you're a 17-year-old boy and you get a voucher and she's within, if she hasn't turned, 22
you
yet.
talk to all your parents about it ahead of time.
Not even a parent. There should be an independent, council that's like, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Talk to the priest.
Yeah, talk to the priest.
He knows what's up.
He gets. If anyone gets it, it's him. Dude, get in there. Who gives a fuck? Maybe wait till you're 18, but whatever.
But also, she's not planting messages. So I love this
isn't
touches my heart. I love teenagers.
Yeah, it's really
the thrill
cute.
of that when you get word through another person
the
that
grapevine.
someone thinks you're fine as fuck.
Yeah.
That's such a good feeling. She's putting that message out there on purpose because she wants you to know. And it sounds like you're really meant to be this beautiful Christian
you've already talked about turning 18.
Yeah.
So there's been some vibes going around there. So yes, as soon as you fucking turn 18, ask her to marry you. And do it the Christian. Yeah, don't have premarital sex, obviously. That's clear. I think we can all agree about that.
She sounds like she's probably a really good singer, too. I don't know if it was the fat ass.
Yeah.
I think she's good.
She's probably an incredible singer. So yeah, dude, don't worry about it, little guy. Get in there. That's good, Eldest. You got anything short and quick to take us out here?
Yep.
Amy, anything you want to plug? Sorry, we didn't mention that. We'll put it in the.
Oh yeah,
Where can
sure.
people find you?
Well, I have a bunch of dates coming up. I don't know when this comes out. But just go
it
to
is
Amy
January.
Miller.
It's not when it's coming out. We're recording it in January.
It is January. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Ma.
Yeah, just amymillercomedy.com.
Love
I
it.
put all my dates up there. But follow me on Instagram, Amy Miller Comedy. That's the only thing that matters in our business.
The only thing that matters for
we
the
have
next
nothing else we need
for the next 4 months when it's some other thing. Yeah, follow Amy. She's very funny. And Eldest, I said something short and quick. I guess this counts. Go ahead.
This quick. This is an update from a recent call.
Great.
Hello again. I called in about the getting married in your 30s timeline, and I was on my way home from work listening to the podcast because I do watch every single episode. I am the fan, and no, this is not our waiting for our election results, although that was very...
On the Colin episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
She called in and basically asked how long should a couple in their 30s date before they need to start thinking about moving in, getting married.
And I accused her of using me as a way to prove it to her idiot boyfriend who loves the podcast. I accused her of not being the fan, and I am sorry, and we are trying to get more women under the big tent of Stavvy's world.
Happy to help.
So, yes, sorry, but it would have been a funny scenario. But anyway, good. I'm glad.
Election results, although that was very funny.
Thank you.
But I wanted to call back and say that the reason for the call was I had a back and forth with a girlfriend of mine. And I'm of the idea that you should wait and take your time to know that it's the right person.
Good.
And she's of the mind of no, now or, F off. So I was like, all right, it's time to call into Stavvy and get his advice. You're not emotionally immature. I don't believe. But anyway, no, I am a fan. I love the show. My significant other doesn't even... that was unnecessary to say he doesn't want to. Anyway, this is getting quite long, but yeah. Thanks for answering the question. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Okay, cool. So I apologize for having a pretty gendered answer there and accusing you of wanting to get married to whatever. I guess not dumbass. That's not a fan of Stavvy's world that you're dating. But yeah, me and you. Our lovely caller are probably on the same page of like, wait to know it's right instead of being like having to hit certain milestones.
Yeah, well, who's this friend that's like, just do it now, do it right away?
Probably somebody.
She doesn't seem well.
She's projecting. She's probably in a relationship that she's not happy with. And that's, again, now I'm projecting. And so, but yes, that's a good update. I'm sorry I accused you of using me to force your dumb boyfriend into marrying you. And we love that you're a fan. Keep calling. We're here to counsel you forever. That's going to do it for Stavvy's World here with Amy, one of our Los Angeles edition episodes. And thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for being on the show. This was so fun. And we will talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.